Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Is 4 the new 1 for Samsung? We're going to try and find that out over here. I am Ankit, and this week Switch has made a switch from Mumbai to Sadi, Delhi, where most of the action is. The year's most anticipated smartphone launch, Galaxy S4, is happening in Delhi, and I'm going to get you all the action along with the Switch verdict for Samsung's flagship device for 2013.
The Galaxy S4 World Tour 2013.
I'm Diana Hayden, and I'll be your host today.
Full marks to Samsung for a fantastic launch event here at Kingdom of Dreams with this gorgeous dance routine by the Shamak Davar dance troupe. Everybody was definitely going wow, but are you going to go wow with the hardware software features of the S4? Let's find them out in detail.
Here comes the superhero of the Samsung Galaxy S line, the Galaxy S4. The most awaited smartphone from the Korean brand, the S4 was recently launched with a big bang at Gurgaon's Kingdom of Dreams. When it comes to looks, the Galaxy line has never had much to boast about. The S4 looks a lot like its predecessor, the S3, just sleeker and smarter. It retains the same rounded rectangle look with metal edges and a slippery, fingerprint-trapping plastic back that many have complained about. Almost entirely made of plastic, the S4 has a polycarbonate strip running along the edge of the phone and has a finish that gives the appearance of some texture but is actually smooth. One place Samsung does manage to score design points is growing the screen from 4.8 inches on the Galaxy S3 to a full 5 inches on the S4, while still making the phone thinner, narrower and easier to grip. The side bezels have been shrunk and the screen takes up almost the entire front of the device. Speaking of the Super AMOLED screen, it is easily the nicest Samsung has ever made. It almost pulls you to itself with the popping colors. Pixel density of 441 per inch ensures that text is crisp and clear, and you will not find a reason to complain. The Samsung Galaxy S4 is a powerhouse and packs in some really tough to beat tech specs. The super fast 1.9 GHz quad-core Snapdragon 600 processor, clubbed with 2 GB RAM, ensures a snappy response during general usage. Internal memory is expandable up to 64 GB via micro SD card. The Galaxy S4 sports a 13 megapixel rear camera with full HD video recording and a 2 megapixel front camera. It runs on Jelly Bean and comes with a beefy 2600 mAh battery.
Now we're going to get into an in-depth review of the Galaxy S4 hardware, software, all the brand new features. But before that, there's one thing which is apparent in every review out there in the blogosphere. Samsung is getting universally panned for its design on the S4, or let's just say the lack of innovation in design in the S4, especially when you put all the Samsung Galaxy devices together, the Note 2, the Grand, the S3 and the S4, there's very little differentiation. While for Samsung, that is not such a bad thing because, you know, their formula is if it ain't broken, why fix it? For consumers who are going to spend upwards of 40,000 rupees, do they get a visually distinguishable product? And the answer is a no. We're going to get into the software features with which Samsung is trying really hard to clearly make a differentiated product, this time with the S4. Let's check them out.
Smart is the way to go, and Samsung seems to agree with it. The Galaxy S4 Smart Scroll allows you to move up and down the length of your favorite websites just by staring at the screen and tilting your head back or forward. The phone scans and senses your eye movement and knows when you've looked away from the display. Smart Pause will pause any video you've been playing until you look at it again. Air Gesture is the hot selling feature of the S4. Now you needn't even touch your touch screen. With Air Gesture, you can now accept a call even when your hands are wet or dirty, or scroll through your gallery effortlessly. Air View can help you get larger blow-ups of thumbnails in the gallery, or even magnify portions of a web page by holding your finger just above the screen. The Galaxy S4's camera app has some gimmicky but really cool features. With the S4's dual camera mode, you can capture stills or videos from both the rear-facing and the front-facing 2-megapixel web camera at the same time. Eraser analyzes your photo when it's being captured and then allows you to remove unwanted objects or people who happen to walk into your frame. The Drama mode allows you to take multiple photos to combine a moving object into a still picture showing motion. Samsung intends to make the S4 your digital health counselor as well. No wonder the dedicated S Health app on the phone. This app monitors how much you've walked, how many calories you've burnt, and what you've eaten. While Samsung Galaxy S4 manages to take smartness to the next level, the real question is, are we willing to pay the price for this super smartphone?
S3 was a winner. Is S4 going to be a winner? Vineet Taneja is with us. We've interacted with him a lot of times over the last so many years with so many brands. But right now, Vineet, you're with Samsung Mobile India. You're heading the mobile and imaging division. The Galaxy S4 surprisingly looks just like the Galaxy S3. While that might be a great formula for you, if it's not broken, why fix it? But a flagship device that looks just like last year's device?
We have hit upon a winning formula, and while they look similar, but they are so different both in hardware terms and software terms in terms of an evolution.
Okay.
So there is clearly a step jump in what all S4 packs in hardware and software terms compared to the S3.
I personally believe, because we've been seeing devices reviewing it for years now, we are hitting some sort of a ceiling now in terms of design innovation, not just Samsung, but a lot of companies out there. Everyone is asking the inevitable question, what next?
All I would say is that from an India perspective, there is clearly a lot that the customers have to kind of adopt, even with our current devices.
Sure.
And I think S4 is indeed a big step up in terms of customer experience and consumer experience, both in hardware and software terms.
You guys have a very, very successful Samsung Own Now campaign. Is that going to be applicable to the S4?
Absolutely. So we want, of course, more and more people to own an S4 as well. And yes, so the EMI campaign, EMI scheme will be applicable on the S4 as well.
All right, fantastic. All the very best.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back. You're watching Switch. This is the Galaxy S4 special show. I'm Ankit and I'm coming to you from Kingdom of Dreams. A lot of people are very, very happy with the pricing of Galaxy S4. 41,500 rupees is much lower than the figure they had in their mind, which was roughly around 43 or 45. And one of the best things that I've heard here on the floor about the pricing, how has Samsung managed to keep the price so low? Well, the phone's made of plastic, so it doesn't really cost too much. That's a below-the-belt one. But you know what we did? We tried to have some fun. We had the Galaxy S4, we took it out on the streets of Mumbai and asked some very unassuming people to try and guess which Galaxy handset this is. See what happens.
Which phone do you think this is?
Samsung Galaxy.
This is a Samsung S3.
S3.
I think this is an S3. Similar to a Grand only.
Samsung Galaxy A.
Grand. I think it's Samsung Grand.
Like you saw, we had a lot of fun showing the Galaxy S4 to people on the streets of Mumbai. And clearly, there is not much design differentiation. But the awesome part about S4, even though it looks identical to the S3, and size-wise, the footprint is the same, they've still managed to pack in a bigger 5-inch screen in the similar size framework. And that is an engineering marvel. What else has impressed the bloggers? Let's find out from the horses or the blogger's mouth.
In terms of design, I think they really need to do something about it because we're seeing this is like the sixth phone I think which has got the same design. I think it's about time they did something about it.
The design is a little bit disappointing because it looks exactly the same as the Galaxy S3 and the Galaxy Note 2 and the Galaxy Grand and basically all the recent Galaxy phones. So it is a little disappointing because if you buy a phone and you pay that much money for a premium phone, you want it to look a little bit distinct.
The air gestures is really great because I mean I actually tried it and it's almost a centimeter off the screen that I can simply turn a page, switch a display. So if my hands are wet, I don't need to touch the display.
The air gestures, I don't know if anyone's going to use that because you're that close to a phone, why would you not just touch it with your hand? I don't know.
You see what they have done with the camera features and all. Someone like me might not use any of it because I don't click a lot of photographs, but there would be a lot of people out there who would actually use the erase feature, who would use, click a picture and have that 10-30 second voice clip with it. I won't use that, but I'm sure I know people who would love such things.
They really cracked it with the price.
It actually launched at a price that was less than the Galaxy S3 when it launched last year. So that's actually interesting that Samsung is becoming really competitive in terms of pricing. They've also said that it's going to be available like tomorrow, which is really impressive.
It would be the best-selling smartphone in my mind.
For this kind of price, I'm not sure what beat it. I think the HTC One might be a close runner-up, the iPhone 5. But other than that, I think right now they've got a really good shot at being the very, very top of the ball right now.
I don't necessarily think it is the best Android phone out there right now. I think the HTC One is the best Android phone out there right now.
I love the HTC One's design. It's really fantastic. I think they've done a great job with it, but I don't like the fact that I can't remove the battery here. So if it hangs, that's a problem.
I would go with the HTC One because for me, I like the build quality of the HTC One. The camera, the low light performance of the camera was also pretty impressive.
The real competition over here is between the S4 and the HTC One. I love the HTC One. It's the closest thing to an iPhone. You see the whole build, you see the whole design, the features and everything. It's a brilliant product, but where is that product, right? HTC had said that it's going to come in the last week of April. It's still not here. And what Samsung has managed to do is not just undercut the One in terms of pricing, but it's going to be available. They announce it today, tomorrow. It's all over the country.
You got that right? She's basically trying to say in Korean, hello and welcome, you're watching Switch. And this is the Samsung Galaxy S4 edition of Switch. We're coming to you from Kingdom of Dreams in New Delhi. There are a couple of things that I really wish Samsung works on before they come up with a flagship device in 2014. First one, fire all your designers. If you have a design team, that is. Just fire them. What have they done? What is this? This looks just like the Galaxy S3. It does lack the premiumness of an HTC One, which with its chamfered edges, aluminum unibody, really reeks of premiumness. Number two, where is the major entertainment differentiator? Where are my movies that you're going to subsidize and give it to me? Where is my unlimited music store? Where is Indian content? So a lot of work needs to go into Indianizing all this entertainment package and put it on your next generation flagship smartphone. Coming to some really key features. I told you I'm a huge fan of the S Translator app. It's like wherever you are, you've got your own about 6-7 language coaching classes over there, and it works seamlessly, it works beautifully. Camera, there have been mixed reactions. In broad daylight, the performance is absolutely great. The stupendous 13 megapixel resolution really lets you crop into minute details which would otherwise completely get lost in something like, an HTC One. While it is good for, casual snapping, serious photographers are not going to get much out of the low light photography. But the feature that really took the cake for me has to be the drama shot. I love burst mode photography, and the way this seamlessly, beautifully stitches pictures shot in burst mode into one seamless image, that's beautiful. Now there are other key features like S-Health, for example, which promises to be your health companion. You've taken this whole companion bit way too seriously, man. Tone it down, Samsung. Unless there are compatible accessories, S-Health is not really going to make any difference, because I use Endomondo as an application because I'm into cycling, and it does almost everything and more than S-Health application does. There are a couple of very interesting features. For example, Air Gesture and Smart Stay. Now, Smart Stay is basically, if you're looking at let's say you're watching a video on the Galaxy S4 and you look away. What it does, thanks to the built-in eye sensor, which is constantly tracking your eye movement, is it pauses the video if you look away and resumes playback of the video as soon as you look back at the screen. It's a good idea, yes, but it gets extremely annoying. You know, I mean, every single time, I don't want to pause the video. What if I'm just looking away and, you know, I can listen to the audio and resume video playback whenever I want to. So that gets annoying. Secondly, it only works in situations which are well lit up and the phone and your eyes are within direct line of vision of each other. Likewise, with the Air Gesture or Air Preview, where you basically make a range of gestures to scroll through your web pages or through your albums or through your pictures or music files. I just don't get the point. If you're millimeters away from the screen, dude, just click the damn screen. What is the big deal about this? Apart from that, I have a set of complaints from the Galaxy S4. If you use two fingers and you bring down the notification panel, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 4. There are 20 icons over here. 20 icons. You know what that means? It means this is not a smartphone. A smartphone is one which does everything for you. I'm not spending 40,000+ rupees to spend double the amount of time and effort and energy to get things done on this device. If I'm spending 40K, I want this to figure out what I want in life. I want this to tell me what should I wear to work. I want this to tell me who I should date. Is it doing all that? No. What it's giving me is 20 icons to try and figure out how to use this device. Samsung, not happening. Having said all of this, you know, decent camera quality, fantastic call quality, very good speakerphone performance, a design which some may like it, some may not like it, okay? You're going to be on either side of the fence. Performance, games, internet browsing, kinetic scrolling, touchscreen responsiveness, the mere reproduction of colors, the oversaturated colors that Super AMOLED throws and we've grown to love, all of that put together, along with the extremely attractive price tag. 41,500 MRP, roughly 39,000 rupees of MOP, and with Samsung's Own Now scheme, where you basically pay zero down payment, there's zero processing fee, zero interest, and you can buy a device like S4 in 6 or 12 EMIs. I think Samsung has a winner at hands. Of course, I am biased, and I absolutely love the way the HTC One feels in the hand. Feels like such an extravagant premium device. The feel lacks over here, but what this does pack in is the Naam, the Calm and the Daam. So for the Naam, Calm and Daam, Samsung Galaxy S4 gets a big thumbs up from the Switch team. Of course, in weeks to come, we're going to get into a lot more in-depth comparison tests with the Galaxy S3, with the HTC One, with the Lumia 920, with the iPhone 5, and occasionally with the BlackBerry Z10. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, after this long Mahabharat of an episode about the Galaxy S4, it's time to call it a wrap. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Catch the entire episode if you want to watch this all over again over the weekend with your friends. Go to moneycontrol.com.